These are 5 reasons to buy Louis Vuitton Nouveau Monde. And at the end, there's going to be a couple of things that you need to watch out for when buying this fragrance, and we're going to discuss those at the end of the video. I've really been into Louis Vuitton fragrances recently. They do come with a very high price point, but they are a line of fragrances that you seem to get the quality and the performance, I guess the creativity to match the high price. Nouveau Monde is one of the best fragrances in my collection. It is a fantastic fragrance, as you're going to see in these 5 points, and it's one of about 6 or 7 Louis Vuitton fragrances that I own. All are very high quality, almost niche quality. They seem to be leaders in their market, so whatever they're trying to do, whether it's Imagination being the best summer citrus fragrance, whether it's Meteor being the best fresh out the shower, clean, peppery, sharp fragrance, or whether it's Ombre Nomade being a fantastic oud rose fragrance, they are brilliant fragrances and they seem to be leaders in what they're trying to do. Reason number 1 why you should buy Nouveau Monde, and this is a controversial reason, I'm sure, but I think it's better than which I do have here, so I do own the fragrance, so I can make the comparison. But for me, Nouveau Monde is actually a better fragrance. On my skin, it performs better. It's a better performing fragrance, and I do find it more interesting overall. Ombre Nomade has a lot of popularity, especially over the last couple of years. It's become so popular. I mean, on my website, you can just tell which fragrances are popular and which ones are not by how well the samples are selling. Ombre Nomade sells out all the time. I've had to replace this bottle many times, whereas Nouveau Monde is nowhere near as much as a big seller as Ombre Nomade. But I do think it's a better fragrance. I get better performance, and I find it more interesting than Ombre Nomade. Reason number 2, Nouveau Monde is a statement-making, head-turning fragrance, and that mainly comes from the performance. The projection on this is outstanding. It's a fantastic projecting fragrance, and people across the room normally will be able to smell you when you wear this. So for that reason, it is a head-turning fragrance, and I think that is a really good selling point. That's why it's one of the 5 reasons why you should buy Nouveau Monde, of course. Head-turning fragrances, if we want that in that situation, of course, a head-turning fragrance can be a negative as well. If you don't want a head-turning fragrance, and fragrances like Nouveau Monde are not ideal, but in that situation, you can just spray 1 or 2 sprays and you're going to be okay. But this is certainly a statement-making fragrance. This has some heavy notes like leather, like oud, like saffron, and dark amberwood. So it has this strong, successful, rich smell, and I think that's one of the reasons why this seems so statement-making. Now, I could imagine someone really successful and someone who knows what they're doing wearing this, perhaps a businessman, perhaps someone who has already had a lot of experiences in life, and they're not new to the fragrance game exactly. They know how to dress themselves. They dress really well. They dress sharp. They dress in expensive, well-fitted clothes, and they are someone who has done something in their life to make them slightly more successful than the average person. That's the type of person I can imagine wearing Nouveau Monde, because you need to have a confident aura about you to pull this off, especially if you spray it a few times and it's really going to be projecting. In my opinion, you need to have the personality to match such a head-turning fragrance. Reason number 3 is the performance. We've already touched on the performance of Nouveau Monde just a moment ago, but the performance on this is fantastic, and one of the reasons why I prefer this over Ombre Nomade is the performance. I get better performance from Nouveau Monde than I do Ombre Nomade, which might surprise you. This has lots of strong notes like oud, leather, saffron we just mentioned, with the dark amberwoods, but then you have also this really nice, delicate, sweet caramel come through, which really rounds off those heavy notes and makes it much more tolerable. If it didn't have that caramel note, I think this would be dry. It would come across as a dry, harsh fragrance, but because of that beautiful caramel, it just keeps the whole fragrance in line and it keeps it interesting all the way through. So I have absolutely 0 problems with this in terms of performance. And when you pay a high price, like you do with Louis Vuitton fragrances, you pay a premium. You expect something that is going to be made with quality ingredients. You expect something to be either unique or really well done, a leader in its own field, and also you expect it to be long lasting, and this one fits all of those categories that I just mentioned. So reason number 3 is performance. Reason number 4 is this is an incredibly sexy fragrance. It's sexy and mysterious. If you could class a fragrance as mysterious, this is the kind of fragrance I would put into that category because of that contrast of the dark notes with the sweet caramel. It has this sort of mysterious and sexy quality about it. It's a fragrance I wear or I spray on a test strip to smell, and it always just catches me off guard at how good it really smells. And I think because of the qualities that this has and the way it smells, I really have to be dressed up nicely to wear it. I would never wear this casually. If I worked in an office, a place where it's close proximity to people, I wouldn't bother wearing it. I think it projects too much and I wouldn't feel confident wearing it in that situation. I wear this when I want something to stand out. I want people to maybe smell me, maybe even compliment me or ask me what I'm wearing. You know, start a conversation about a fragrance. That is the kind of thing that this will do because people will be able to smell you. Some fragrances you can wear that sit quite close to the skin. You don't know how many times you need to spray them. You don't know if people can smell them at all on you. Sometimes we can wear fragrances just for ourselves as well, which I do, and that's absolutely fine. But Nouveau Monde is not one of those fragrances. If you wear this, you are also wearing it for people around you because it projects so much, and it's sexy, it's dark, it's perfect. It's a beautiful fragrance, and the 4th reason why you should buy this is it's sexy and mysterious. Reason number 5 is the oud in here is not challenging. Sometimes when we want to wear oud fragrances, they can come across really difficult. They can come across medicinal. They can just be really difficult and unpleasant to wear and unpleasant to people around you. They have that experience if you are not used to oud fragrances. And to be honest, I don't like oud fragrances that much. You know, fragrances where oud is the main note and it smells and you can really pick up that pungent smell, I don't particularly enjoy them. But Nouveau Monde has oud, but it's mixed with all those other notes we described. The caramel really helps the oud balance out with all the other notes, and it is challenging in a way because of all the other notes in here, not because of the oud. It's not a challenging oud fragrance directly. So I think if you want to experiment with oud fragrances and work out how they work on your skin to see if you actually like that note, I think Nouveau Monde is a great choice because the oud is not challenging, and it's going to be a nice way for you to experience that note. So a couple of things to watch out for is the price. First of all, we mentioned that they are expensive. I think this 200ml bottle costs around £360 or something like that. They are very expensive. But saying that, if you want a same size bottle of Ombre Nomade, you're going to be paying an extra £120. So you really need to bear that in mind when you want to pick out these two fragrances. The reason why I'm comparing these is because they are very closely related. They do have some similar notes, and they're the two fragrances from Louis Vuitton that smell quite similar. And another thing you need to watch out for is the projection. If you're looking for like a close proximity date night or office scent, something like that, I don't think this is going to be in that category. This, like I said, is a statement-making, head-turning fragrance, and as long as you're looking for that, then this is going to be a great choice. And lastly, just something else I'd watch out for is it's not the most pleasant fragrance to other people around you. Sure, some people are going to love it, but you know, I always make a habit of showing a fragrance to my partner before I make a video. I asked her to smell it. She didn't like it. Doesn't like Ombre Nomade either, but she loves the Imagination, that Immensity, and Meteor, the easygoing Louis Vuitton fragrances. But this one she doesn't like. And so if someone around you doesn't like it because of the projection, the longevity, the overall heaviness of the fragrance, it's not going to be that nice for people around you. But I personally love this fragrance. I love wearing it for myself. It's a confidence boosting fragrance when you're dressed up nicely, and it just adds that extra bit of class to your outfit. It's not going to change your attractiveness level or anything like that. Of course, fragrances don't do that, but it just adds a tiny bit of confidence on top of a nice outfit that you're wearing. That's how I would wear this. That's how I do wear this, and that's how I'd encourage other people to wear this. I hope you got something from this video. Let me know, have you tried any Louis Vuitton fragrances, and are you going to try Nouveau Monde? See you soon.